Hello, thanks for watching the CXO Academy video. Today we'll be learning how to create a beautiful waterfall report within CXO using our standard preset templates and utilizing lists, which we've already used and set up within CXO. So the end result will look somewhat like this, and I'll show you how to do that. Now let's go into the CXO Designer to get started. Once in a CXO Designer, we'll select a new report at the top. We'll give this a name, and this will be Waterfall Sample. The source system will be just a regular EPM source, and we'll use an existing template, in this case our waterfall. We'll select OK. We can close our Open Report tab. What we see now, we're getting a missing values parameter item selector, and when we go into content, we'll see that item selector is not inputted. We'll click on that, and our item selector is our where we'll be able to toggle between. So in this case, I want to toggle between just P&L accounts, for example. So I'll scroll down to any list that I've previously used. These are shared lists in this case. Notice it's a new report, so there will be nothing within the report list. So within my shared list, I can select, let's do P&L summary. So if you select on here, if you select the list, you'll see a preview on the right hand side. This goes from net sales all the way down to operating income. I can select this, and let's use the select the list. As soon as I've populated this selected list, you'll see that my report starts to populate, and it looks as so. So currently by default it selects net sales. I can also select, for example, operating income, and you see we're starting to get some from budget to actuals. This can also be changed by changing the reference categories. For example, in this case, I will select the list currently being used by default, and that is item P&L dropdown, and it has my budget, my forecast, my last year, and my previous period. So in this case, we'll leave it as is. And what this changes is my dropdown here. So now I can select my actuals to budget, actuals to forecast, actuals to last year, or my actuals compared to previous period. And that is where you see here my budget in this case to my actuals. Now, some other things you can do within this waterfall report is, let me close out of this bar here at the bottom. You can set it so that it has in this case is being broken down by entity. So we have here breakdown by entity, and that is what we see how we got from our actuals, from our budget to actuals based off of Asia, South America, Europe, and United States. Now notice these are top level members underneath our top level entity. However, we can set it to be base members, and in this case it'll give us the difference based on our base members. So no longer top level, but we see how we got from our budget to actuals, in this case by our base level members. So that is really helpful in case you to drill in further to get more information. And now we see that we also have an extra additional breakdown on the right hand side for our 12-month trend, which can also be changed here on the right hand side with side trend. This is simply a list that we've set up by default, which has 12 months. So it goes from our current selected period and 11 months back from there. So that is why we see current period is September, and we see the data go back all the way to last October. So this can be highlighted, for example, and you can hover over the numbers to see the exact numbers. And also at the bottom you have your variance breakdown for the last 12 months, and you also have an option of setting your variance absolute like it's set at the moment, or by percentage, for example. So you will have red bars when you're negative variance, or green bars when it's positive. I hope this has helped. This waterfall is very helpful for finding variances. And it can be set up within just a couple minutes using CXO's preset standard templates.